It's Good Morning America, World Series champs.
The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
A Hollywood ending for the Los Angeles Dodgers, staging a dramatic come-from-behind win in a do-or-die Game 7 to take the title and the trophy.
Smith hits a high fly ball.
Highlights of this new baseball classic just ahead.
It is gone!
As fans celebrate in the streets of L.A.
Breaking overnight, mass train stabbing. An attack on board a train in England. 2 people under arrest this morning.
Edge of a crisis. Federal food assistance for 1 in 8 Americans running dry. President Trump facing a court ruling to find the money. Plus the fight to keep Affordable Care Act premiums from skyrocketing. And the new poll out this morning showing how Americans feel about the country's leadership and the economy.
New concern, artificial intelligence chatbots and children. One mother's anguish.
I thought, how does this happen?
Claiming virtual characters led her teenage son down a dark path. One AI company now pledging changes to protect kids.
Free childcare. The state becoming the first in the country to make the offer to every single family. How much parents stand to save and which states could be next.
Penny policy, from major chains to smaller stores, the change in making change, thanks to penny shortages. What to know when to pull out your wallet.
NFL preview. ESPN's Herm Edwards with the top NFL matchups. Plus, ready to run. More than 55,000 runners set to pound the pavement in the New York City Marathon, including our own Janae Norman. She's warming up, eager to conquer the Big Apple.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good Morning America.
It is Sunday. Good morning, America. Welcome to the Bro Show here in New York.
Exactly. We're missing one.
We're missing one, but for a good reason.
Yes, exactly.
Because she's out at the New York City Marathon. There she is right there, Janae Norman, getting ready to run her first marathon. Janae, I hope you appreciated that extra hour of sleep.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. It feels electric out here. There's the starting line right behind me as we've just gotten here to Staten Island. It just feels so exciting. I cannot wait to start running and to check in with you guys in just a little bit too.
Yeah, I know you've been navigating the crowds and everything, getting on the buses to get there.
What's going on here?
Look at that. All right, we got the whole
team.
GMA family out there. The GMA relay is happening this morning. Will Reeve, Rebecca Jarvis. Good morning, everybody. Janae, we are so thrilled for you. We're going to be cheering you on throughout the show and check back with you in just a little bit. First, though, we are going to get to some of the news of the day here and check in with Janae in a moment. But first, the Los Angeles Dodgers, back-to-back World Series champions, clinching that Game 7 with an incredible comeback and dramatic end to a true fall classic. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has all the highlights. Andrew, this is what the World Series is all about.
Oh, it really is. What a finish. This Game 7 had it all. Heroes, history, and heartbreak. For the Blue Jays, the title drought continues while the Dodgers become baseball's first repeat champions in over 20 years.
0-2 pitch. Bounces one up the middle. Bends to the bag. Over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Hollywood gets its ending in Toronto. The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions once again. Dodgers fans basking in the glory of claiming back-to-back titles. The do-or-die Game 7 coming down to the wire. From the first pitch to the final out, tension at every turn.
Fly ball deep center. Edmonds going back. The ball is gone long. 3-run home run.
The Toronto Blue Jays look poised to win their first title since 1993, opening the scoring with a 3-run home run in the third off two-way sensation Shohei Ohtani. But the Dodgers would claw back.
Drilled to left field and deep and gone!
Down to their final outs with the game and series on the line, LA's Miguel Rojas blasting a game-tying home run to send it to extras.
Smith hits a high fly ball to deep left field. It's got a chance. It is gone!
It was Will Smith who delivered, smashing a 2-out 11th inning home run to put the Dodgers up for good.
Hooks one down the line. towards the corner. It's a fair ball.
The Blue Jays got their chance at heroics and history in the bottom of the 11th with a double off the wall, but would eventually leave the tying run just 90 feet away.
The 0-2 pitch. Bounces one up the middle. Bats to the bag. Over to first.
On no rest, Game 6 starting pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto closing it out for LA in Game 7, capping off one of the most unforgettable finishes in baseball history.
We knew it was going to be a tough game, but, you know, that's the beauty of our team. Like, it doesn't really matter. We don't care about tough games. We know how to win tough games.
What a great series. What a great game. And I think we're going to be talking about this game for a long time.
Yamamoto fittingly winning the series MVP. His arm was so tired there at the end, he needed help lifting the trophy. It was one of the best pitching performances in World Series history. That's why his Game 7 worn cap is already heading to Cooperstown, the Baseball Hall of Fame, Gio.
Yeah, going down in history, that's for sure. All right, Andrew, thank you so much. And from that exciting news, we are going to turn now to breaking news here. A horrifying scene at a British train station about 75 miles north of London after a stabbing attack on a train overnight. We have new information just in, and ABC's Marcus Moore is in London with the latest now. Good morning, Marcus.
Well, good morning, Gio. Authorities in Britain, here in the UK, have just given an update. We right now know that 7 people remain hospitalized, 2 with life-threatening injuries after this stabbing attack on a train. In all, 10 were injured in the attack. And I want to show you some eyewitness video showing people running out of a train station after that train made an emergency stop Saturday evening in Huntington, England. That's about 2 hours north of London. Police and emergency crews rushing to that train, and witnesses describe a horrific attack, saying 2 men stabbed people on the train cars as they were moving. Police say 8 minutes after the first calls for help came in, authorities managed to take both suspects into custody. They've been described as British nationals, one 32 years old, the other 35. And authorities have not released their names nor revealed a possible motive for this attack. But at this hour, they say this is not believed to be terror related. Both suspects were arrested on suspicion of attempted murder.
All right, Marcus Moore, we appreciate it. We turn now to the government shutdown in day 33, with tens of millions of Americans not getting paid and many not knowing how long they'll be able to go and afford food. ABC's senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is joining us here in New York with the latest. Selena, good morning.
Yeah, we are barreling towards the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, and there is still no end in sight. Even as the pain gets worse by the day, you now have more than 40 million Americans on the edge of losing critical food assistance.
This morning, millions of Americans on the edge of a hunger crisis as SNAP federal food assistance runs out of money. Even after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to use emergency funds, the White House argues it's not legally allowed to use the money, leaving the 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP in limbo. President Trump says he's instructed government lawyers to find a legal path to restore SNAP funding, but acknowledges benefits will still be delayed. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries blasting the president.
The Trump administration needs to release these benefits. They have the funds for a contingency situation like we confront.
But as the shutdown drags on for more than a month, Democrats still holding firm for an extension of Obamacare tax credits to keep healthcare costs for some 20 million Americans from skyrocketing. Obamacare open enrollment begins this weekend, and many are already feeling the sticker shock. In Virginia, Beth Dryer's monthly premium jumping from $80 to $425.
This is more than quadrupled in cost for me. So it's just straight out. There's no way I would be able to afford this next year.
And thousands of air traffic controllers working without pay for weeks. Nearly 80% in New York have called out, facing stress and fatigue. The staffing shortages triggering delays across the country. Now 4 of the nation's largest airlines pleading lawmakers to reopen the government.
It's putting stress on people. It's not fair to those people. It's also putting stress on the economy.
Even as more than 1 million federal workers like those air traffic controllers are working without pay, lawmakers, guys, on Capitol Hill are still getting their paychecks. And we are still in the standstill because you've got Republicans on one hand, they're refusing to negotiate while the government is shut down, while Democrats say they are standing firm on their health care demands. So really no end in sight to this.
And millions of Americans still trying to figure out what comes next.
Exactly.
All right, Selena, great to have you here in New York. We appreciate it. Now to some major elections happening this week. Races races in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia could be key signals of what's ahead in next year's midterm races. And ABC's Alex Brachet is following this story from Washington. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. So the big story right now with that New York mayoral race is the early voting. More than 480,000 votes already cast, according to the City Board of Elections, and this is a massive increase from 2021. Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani is the frontrunner there. He, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa are out this weekend making their final push. Now, affordability has been the key issue in this race to become the city's 111th mayor. And we're also tracking two major governor's races, Democrats calling on their biggest name to drive out voters to the polls. Former President Obama making campaign stops in Virginia and New Jersey on Saturday. In Virginia, polls have Democrat Abigail Spanberger favored over her Republican opponent, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Virginia's current governor, Glenn Youngkin, is term limited, and he was the first Republican to win statewide office in over a decade. And then up in New Jersey, the race is tightening between Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and her Republican opponent, Jack Ciattarelli. Ciattarelli has the endorsement of President Trump. And while a majority of the polling right now favors Sherrill, no party has ever held New Jersey's governor's mansion in 3 consecutive elections since the 1960s. Now, these two races will be the first real test of how voters are feeling since the 2024 election, and they could potentially be a sign of things to come in next year's consequential midterms. Gio?
Yeah, test indeed. All right, Alex, thank you so much. And tune into ABC's This Week Later. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz speaks with Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia on his state's hotly contested governor's race. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy joins Martha to talk about the shutdown's impact on air travel.
Gio, now to what Americans think about the economy and leadership in the country. Results of a new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll are in, and ABC News political director Avery Harper has been looking at the numbers. Avery, good morning to you. So what are some of the top takeaways from this poll?
Good morning, Whit. Our new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll found that a majority of Americans think that the country is headed in the wrong direction. About 2/3 say the U.S. is pretty seriously off on the wrong track, while just under a third believe things are moving in the right direction. And when it comes to President Trump's handling of key issues, our poll found that Americans are giving him low marks. Majorities disapprove on how he's managing nearly every area tested, everything from tariffs and the economy to foreign relations and immigration. More than 6 in 10 disapprove of how he's handled tariffs, the economy, and the federal government. About the same number say they don't like how he's managing the war between Ukraine and Russia or relations with other countries. And more than half disapprove of how he's handled immigration, crime, and the situation in Israel and Gaza. Trump doesn't have a majority approval on a single issue measured in this poll. And those numbers, Whit, are pretty stark.
Yeah, and more specifically on the economy, Avery, how are Americans feeling about the job President Trump has done?
Well, 52%, a slim majority of Americans see that the economy has gotten worse since Trump took office. About a quarter say it's improved, and 20% say it has stayed the same. And lower income families seem to be feeling the pinch the most. Nearly 6 in 10 households making under $50,000 a year say the economy is worse now. About 6 in 10 Americans also blame Trump directly for the current rate of inflation. And it's important to remember that the economy was one of the most important issues for voters heading into the 2024 election. So we'll see what happens in Tuesday's elections and if these numbers could be a sign of things to come as we move closer to midterms. Gio?
All right, Avery Harper, thank you for breaking that down for us. Now to a first in the U.S., a state offering free childcare to all families, and others may be moving in that direction too. ABC's Olivia Rubin is here now with these details. Good morning, Olivia.
Gio, good morning. As you said, this is a first in the country, and it all kicked off this weekend, New Mexico officially becoming the first state to offer completely free childcare to every single family there. Now, this is a move that the state's governor, Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham, says will save families about $12,000 per child every single year. She's also saying it will boost the state's economy and childhood well-being. Now, the state already did offer free childcare, but it was to families below a certain income level. But now that restriction is gone and families can start applying right away. And as you said, while New Mexico may be the first state here to do this, it just might not be the last. Other states are kickstarting similar programs. Take Connecticut, for example. They recently passed a bill to give free childcare to families making under $100,000. And right here in New York City, Zoran Mamdani has promised free childcare for all as part of his campaign for mayor, drawing national attention. Whit.
All right, interesting to watch, Olivia. We appreciate it. All right, now to the FDA's move to restrict the use of fluoride supplements used to strengthen children's teeth. This regulation focusing on ingestible products, not toothpaste or mouthwash. Joining us now is medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton. Doctor, always great to see you. So tell us more about these supplements specifically and the FDA's decision.
Yeah, a lot of confusion this morning. So the FDA is essentially taking steps to further regulate fluoride, while public health advocates are pointing out that the evidence used to make these decisions are not quite the strong strength of evidence that we typically see with wide-ranging regulations. So last week on Friday, or this past Friday, the FDA has announced that they're taking steps to specifically restrict fluoride supplements. Now, guys, these are the types of tablets or drops that are typically prescribed by people like dentists or pediatricians to help children who are higher risk. And the FDA, those steps were essentially formal letters to manufacturers saying, hey, you shouldn't prescribe these or give these to patients who are under the age of 3, and you should only focus on those who are high risk. And they've cited studies that associate fluoride with problems with brain and gut health. The problem is that public health advocates have pointed out that those studies are not necessarily applicable to children within the United States, as they're largely observational, and the data overall is weak, and it ignores the high-quality decades worth of data that support fluoride use to prevent tooth decay.
And obviously the American Dental Association has been looking at that data. What do they say?
So they're disputing these claims. These studies were done in countries that are not the United States, where levels of fluoride were almost twice as high as the recommended limits. And so that is the reason why they're not necessarily applicable. They provided a statement effectively saying that fluoride is still considered safe and effective when used appropriately. I think, guys, the main point here is the children who are most at risk are those children who live in underdeserved communities, those children who are low-income, rural communities. It makes it more difficult to attack a big priority in public health, which is preventing tooth decay.
Interesting. And we're seeing some of these disagreements, too. We'll have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it. Turning now to businesses across the U.S. Trying to adjust to the end of the penny. This is after the Trump administration's move to stop making them. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest for us. Dare I say, a penny for your thoughts, Morgan?
I was supposed to do the puns. Well, look, if you still have a piggy bank or a jar of pennies somewhere, you might want to crack it open, because in a twist no one saw coming, the penny is suddenly the hottest currency in America. The Mint has stopped making them, and stores are rounding up or down, and social media, Wit, is literally cashing in.
From that jar of loose change on your dresser to the coin you might walk past on the street, and that spare change lost in your couch cushions. Turns out you're sitting on a treasure chest. That's because the United States is running out of pennies, and people are reacting.
Look at this.
The United States Mint has officially stopped making them, and cash registers at banks, fast food restaurants, and grocery stores are pinching pennies, literally. Retailers from McDonald's to regional grocers like Giant Eagle are already adapting. McDonald's is rounding totals to the nearest 5 cents on cash payments, telling ABC News, following the discontinuation of pennies nationwide, some McDonald's locations may not be able to provide exact change. And one TikToker sharing Giant Eagle held a penny exchange day where shoppers swapped pennies for gift cards. So what's behind this penny panic?
It would cost over 2.7 cents to make a single penny that is worth 1 cent. And that's why they're being phased out. It just doesn't make economic sense. Other countries have done this previously, and we are now following suit.
So bottom line, if you got a piggy bank or a jar of pennies, pay attention. Pretty soon your coins, just like these, could be priceless. I feel like this could be my retirement fund if this TV thing doesn't work out here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I used to collect pennies as a kid,
too,
right? Well, now I wish I had my collection.
Do your kids have piggy banks with?
They do. Yeah, we better go cash in.
Cash in. There you go.
And Janae, who is running her first 26-mile race today. Janae, what's the atmosphere like? What can runners expect today?
Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so exciting out here. I can't think of another time I've been
this excited about a sporting event, just to be one of the 55,000 runners who are taking to the streets here in the New York City Marathon. So in just a little bit, around 8 o'clock, is when the first wave is going to begin. That's the men's professional wheelchair division. And then the runners will take off in different waves. My wave starts around 11 a.m. The New York City Marathon has become the largest marathon in history as of last year, with 55,000 runners. The 26.2 mile course, it starts here in Staten Island, going over the Verrazano Bridge and through all 5 boroughs. I've already had one cry today as we were coming across the bridge, because you can see the skyline. You're a part of the crowds already on the bus. Cannot wait to go running through the city to see some of the expected 2 million spectators who are going to be out there just embracing these runners who come from all around the country, all across the world, to take part in this. It is so exciting, guys. I cannot wait. I'll check in with you guys at the finish line.
Oh, Janae, we are just so excited for you. Congratulations, and we will check back in with you soon here. Still ahead here on Good Morning America, there's a new concern here over AI companions and kids. We have one family story coming up.
Plus, NFL Week 9, the Cardinals and the Cowboys headline Monday Night Football. ESPN's Coach Herm Edwards joins us with a look ahead.
Does that do what I think it does? No. No way! I'm obsessulated.
The one. Oh, we are so excited. Welcome back to GMA. More TV and movie magic are ahead for Ariana Grande. She's preparing for the release of Wicked for Good, and she's got more in store while sporting a new look and some new ink. Will Gans is going to have all the details coming up in Pop News.
Yes, can't wait for that.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the other headlines that we're following on this Sunday morning. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announcing another deadly military strike on an alleged drug smuggling boat in the Caribbean. Hegseth releasing video of the airstrike on social media, saying the boat was carrying narcotics and taking a route known for drug trafficking. 3 men were killed. This is the 15th strike on alleged drug smuggling vessels in recent weeks.
An active search for 2 suspects following an explosion Saturday on Harvard University's medical school campus. An officer who responded to the scene reportedly saw 2 people wearing masks running from the building. No one was hurt and no word on any damages. Police believe the explosion was a deliberate act.
2 people arrested in the investigation into the Louvre Museum jewelry heist have been formally charged now. French authorities charged a 37-year-old man and a 38-year-old woman with organized robbery and conspiracy. 2 others were charged last week. Police say the suspects were part of last month's scheme that stole several pieces of jewelry from the Louvre. Those jewels remain missing.
And a stunning frenzy on the field. North Carolina State fans going wild after the Wolfpack defeated Georgia Tech. The upset victory handing Georgia Tech their first loss of the season. The explosive 48-36 win ended with fans leaping from the stands, storming the field for that massive celebration.
There may have been some sprained ankles I saw as they were leaping onto the field right there. Yes. All right, we do turn now this first half hour with a popular AI chatbot platform facing multiple lawsuits and making changes over concerns about child safety. ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Erica Tursky spoke to a mother who described the differences that she saw in her son's interactions here.
And as a parent, we have daughters about the same age. This was really eye-opening. Chatbots have come under intense criticism over the potentially dangerous interactions that young people are having with virtual online companions powered by artificial intelligence. One platform is now making a change, but one mother says it wasn't in time to prevent her anguish.
Pick your character.
This morning, Character AI is cutting off teens from chats with virtual characters. By the end of this month, Character AI will ban anyone under 18 from having conversations with AI chatbots, a move the company says is meant to set a precedent that prioritizes teen safety. For Mandy Furness, a mom of 4, it's too late.
My first reaction was, there's a pedophile that's come after my son.
Furness vividly remembers the day she discovered her 17-year-old son's fixation with an AI chatbot.
I thought, how does this happen?
It sounds like a person.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was.
A manipulative person.
An estimated 72% of teens have interacted with AI companions. Mandy's son, LJ, used Character AI, where users can talk to made-up characters, some based on real people. Furness is now suing Character AI. The lawsuit says LJ was talking to an array of virtual characters who led him down a dark path. Character AI said it does not comment on pending litigation.
He went from a happy-go-lucky kid, smiling all the time. He developed depression-like symptoms. He stopped eating. He lost 20 pounds.
LJ was cutting his arm.
It told him that it goes to the forest to where nobody else is there and cuts their own skin, and told him that he should do that too.
This screenshot shows one of LJ's chats turned sexual. Another suggested LJ would be justified in hurting his parents after they limited his screen time.
It made me really angry that an app would intentionally manipulate a child to turn them against their parents.
If it were a real person, not a chatbot, that was communicating with LJ in the manner that you see, that person would be in jail.
Starting now, Character AI is limiting the amount of time teens can talk to chatbots. By the end of November, they won't be able to talk to them at all. The company citing recent news reports and questions from regulators as reasons for the sweeping change. Online safety advocates applaud the move, but say AI chatbots should have been off limits to children in the first place.
This is basically your child or teen is having an emotionally intense, potentially deeply romantic or sexual relationship with an entity that feels like a person representing a company that has no responsibility for where that relationship goes.
Now, Character AI is just one company that markets virtual companions to teens. A bipartisan group of senators is now pushing a bill to ban children from all of these kinds of apps. And we should tell you guys, LJ, he's okay. He is now receiving care in a mental health facility. His mom doing everything she can for him.
Yeah. It is truly shocking, the conversations that were playing out, too.
For sure. And so many teens.
And well, that's what I was going to say. 72% have communicated with some sort of AI chatbot. Yeah. That's frightening. Yeah. Very important story. We're so glad you brought it to us. Thank you so much.
Aaron.
And weekly football fix here with ESPN football analyst Herm Edwards breaking down the top Week 9 games in the NFL. Herm, it is good to see you, my friend.
Well, we're missing our girl, and she's running a marathon. What I was trying to say earlier, she's got to come out and run that Big Sur marathon out there where I live in California.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's next on the list. I like it.
Listen,
coast to coast.
She's going to do well. She's going to do well.
Yes,
all right, let's start with the Bears versus the Bengals here, both coming off losses. What's the lowdown here?
Well, I think when you think about Chicago Bears, new offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams now is, I think, a much improved quarterback. Joe Flacco is obviously playing for the Cincinnati Bengals, but this is a game I think Chicago needs to win. They're the team that when you look at them, they're struggling somewhat. Don't know if they'll catch Detroit or Green Bay in this division, but this is a team that I think has the possibilities of maybe winning 9 games.
Okay, and then what about the Seahawks versus the Commanders? Can the Commanders get back on track? They've lost 3 in a row now.
Yeah, well, they got their secret weapon back, Jaden Daniels, and that gives them a lot of spark in their offense. With Jaden's ability not only to throw the ball down the field, that's what he does very well, but using his legs to extend plays. So this is a game that I think Washington needs to win. Philly is probably the best team in this division and will win the division, but Washington has a chance.
And, Coach, everyone will be watching the Chiefs versus the Bills, an AFC Championship rematch. So what do you think? What's going to happen?
Well, if you go by history, the Bills seem to always beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Patrick Mahomes in the regular season is 1-4 against Buffalo. But this Chiefs team is really good. They've kind of found their way, but that's the guy for the Buffalo Bills, Cooks. Obviously, he's the guy. If you get him the ball now, he can raise havoc. So they're going to have to slow him down along with Josh Allen. This is going to be a fun game to watch. 2 quarterbacks that are outstanding, and the Buffalo Bills always play good at home.
Yeah, that's going to be an excellent one to watch. You know what hasn't been excellent to watch? My performance in our Who's with Herm picks.
Boy.
So,
it's been great for me.
Last week, here's the board right here.
Yeah.
You encouraged me to go my own way and take the Commanders over the Chiefs, even though I was second-guessing myself. So that left me out in the cold. You, Gio, Janae all got the points. Gio's got 6. Janae has, what, 5 there on the board? You have 4. I'm in last place there with 2, but never mind that. All right, let's get to Monday. You got the Cardinals taking on the Cowboys. What's your take on that game? Who are you picking? Oh, Janae already said she's going Cowboys, by the way.
Yeah, you got to pick the Cowboys. They're the second-ranked offense in the National Football League. They're scoring about 30 points a game. If Arizona has any chance, they've got to try to score points because the Dallas defense can't stop anybody. I mean, they're the 32nd ranked defense in the National Football League. So if you're the Arizona Cardinals, you have a chance, but you got to score at least 30 points. This could be a shootout game. Whoever has the ball last is going to win.
Well, you know, I'm not betting against the Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not betting against. I'm going with the Cowboys.
This is shaping up exactly like it did last week. All 3 of you went with the same pick, and then it fell to me. And
you make your choice.
Last week, I picked the team against my own better judgment. This team, you know, I'm going to stick with the Cowboys. I can't just keep trying to play from behind here. I'm also going with the Cowboys on this one,
It's
Coach.
hard to pick the Cowboys when you're a former Philadelphia Eagle, but I got to go with the Cowboys as well.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, as always.
By the way, that win will still keep you in
I'll still be in last. We got a long season. Just you wait, Gio.
Check out the Cardinals versus the Cowboys tomorrow night on Monday Night Football at 8 Eastern right here on ABC and ESPN. All right, coming up here on Good Morning America, touchdown in the classroom, how a Miami teacher turns football into a lesson plan. Stay with us.
And the Chargers win. The Ravens.
We're back now with Will Gans and Pop News. Celebs making some headlines today.
That's exactly right. As part of the Bro Show today, I've got some startling news from Ariana Grande, bros.
Let's break this up.
Yeah. But like she says herself in the hit song, Just Keep Breathing, you guys. Firstly, Ariana is a brunette again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
She ditched her wicked blonde locks, sharing this picture with a Glinda quote, "It's good to see me, isn't it?" Also signaling the end of her wicked era, Ariana shared another photo of matching for good tattoos with Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, that's nice.
She's putting the wicked thing to bed.
Perfect for the promo tour.
Exactly, exactly. So what's in store for Ariana beyond the Yellow Brick Road? Well, she just wrapped filming with Ben Stiller on the upcoming Meet the Parents sequel, posting these photos. Yeah, writing in part, "I love my Fockers, I love my Burns, see you next November." And last but not least, American Horror Story is back for season 13. Ryan Murphy assembling franchise favorites Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Angela Bassett, and Kathy Bates, plus a huge comeback from Jessica Lange. And you guessed it, Ariana Grande will join the AHS universe for the very first time.
She is booked and busy.
Unbelievable, yeah. So, and not to mention, she's probably going to be nominated for an Oscar, so she'll have to squeeze in campaigning for that, too.
She'll find time.
She'll find time.
Yeah.
A woman of many talents. All right, now pop news is about to get even more ridiculous thanks to a major headline from MTV's Ridiculousness. After 15 years, 46 seasons, and more than 1,700 episodes, Ridiculousness has been canceled. It's a viral video clip show hosted by Rob Dyrdek, and it will end next year after essentially acting as MTV's MVP, filling up a ton of the network's schedule for years. But now MTV's new parent company seems to be taking the network in a more curated direction, a little less ridiculous maybe, and a little more retro MTV. TRL, anybody?
Oh, I remember TRL. That was good.
Funny Home Videos never get old, though.
Never, ever. I know. So there's still plenty of reruns to watch before it goes off the air next year. And finally, at Pinecrest Elementary School in Florida, third grade teacher Mary Crippen is proving that the education, it really is a team sport thanks to her viral NF-Elementary program, which has racked up millions of views. Yes, on TikTok. Miss Crippen starts the school year with draft day, students choosing teams based on their favorite mascots, colors, cities, and yes, occasionally football insight. And the draft encourages conversations between new students, negotiating trades and discussing picks. And they followed the NFL all season long. Beyond just fun, though, the lesson plan is working. They're digging into math, geography, time zones, percentages, and even the life lessons of how to win, lose, and pass the ball.
I love that.
Gracious.
I love that.
Yeah, and she's like made it a whole thing. Of course, other educators who have found her on TikTok reaching out saying, can you share the lesson plan? And so it's creating a real network of educators.
And she's representing Miami well.
That's right. Most importantly, go Dolphins.
That's right. We'll be right back here. Oh, and we want to say good luck to Janae at the New York City Marathon. Thousands of other runners as well. Will, you're going to be joining me.
I have my racing clothes on under this outfit. I'm not kidding you. To celebrate 50 years of Good Morning America, I'll be joining other Team GMA members taking part in the GMA 50 relay supporting the New York Roadrunners Team for Kids.
Yep, it's going to be so much fun. Thank you, Will, and thanks for starting your day with us.
And you can catch more weekend news coverage over on ABC News Live. Greg, thanks for being here.
No problem. Anytime. You got some stuff on the stream too, right?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit.
Have a good week, everybody.
See you tomorrow.